I can see Sally's surprise turning into frustration, but I don't pause. And the reception, it'll be fantastic. A lively celebration packed with football discussions, whiskey, and plenty of inside jokes you won't get. We'll have a GU night out theme, and maybe we'll even hire some dancers. Hey, I'm Sally, and I can hardly believe it's only 4 months until I marry Josh. I'm so excited that it's hard to concentrate. Every free moment, I'm daydreaming about the wedding. My dress, the flowers, the music. I want everything to be flawless, like I'm living in a constant daydream, imagining every little detail. But recently, I've been thinking about how to make our wedding truly unique, different from all the others we've attended. Then it hit me. What if we had a women-only wedding? The idea came to me unexpectedly, but now I can't stop thinking about it. Imagine this. Instead of my dad walking me down the aisle, it's my mum, surrounded by my sisters, aunts, and friends. No groomsmen, only my bridesmaids. My mum gives the speech instead of dad. Grandma offers the blessing. It would be incredible. I can see it so vividly in my mind, like a movie playing over and over. Every part of the ceremony would be led by women. My cousin doing a reading, our family friend Sarah officiating, and even the musicians and photographer would be women. It would be a celebration of all the women who've supported me throughout my life. The only man there would be Josh, waiting for me at the altar. The more I think about it, the more I love this idea. It just feels right, you know? It perfectly captures the love and strength I've received from the women in my family. All those times my mum stayed up late helping me with homework, when my sisters comforted me after tough breakups, and how my aunts have always cheered me on, no matter what. This wedding would be a tribute to all of that, and Josh has always been so understanding of how close I am with my family. I'm sure he'll get it. He knows how much these women mean to me, and he's never been one for all that macho stuff. He'll probably be relieved not to have to pick groomsmen or plan a bachelor party. I can't wait to tell him. He's going to think it's such a cool idea, right? And I bet he'll be touched that I want him to be the only man there, like he's the guest of honor or something. I can already picture him smiling and agreeing. He's always encouraged me to be myself and do things my way. I'm getting more excited with each passing minute. This is going to be perfect. A room full of women celebrating love and family, with Josh at the center of it all. When we exchange our vows, it will be a wedding unlike any other, I just know it. I wonder what everyone will wear. Maybe we could ask all the guests to wear white too, not just me. Or would that be too much? I'll have to think about it. As for the flowers, we could use all my favourite blooms, the ones my grandma taught me about in her garden. For the music, we could have an all-female band at the reception. Maybe Josh's sister can help find one. She's always going to indie concerts. And for our first dance, maybe we could pick a song by a female artist that means something special to both of us. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. It feels like everything is falling into place. This wedding is going to be a statement, a celebration of love in all its forms, not just between Josh and me, but also between all the women who've shaped my life. I'm practically buzzing with excitement. There's so much to do, so many details to figure out, but the first step is to tell Josh. I'm sure he'll be just as excited as I am. This is going to be the start of something beautiful. I can feel it. Hey, Josh here. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Sally just told me about her idea for our wedding, and I don't even know how to respond. A women-only wedding? Is she serious? I love Sally, I really do, but this doesn't sit well with me. I'm stunned she'd even suggest something so one-sided. I mean, it's our wedding, right? Not just hers. She's going on and on about how wonderful it will be. Her mum walking her down the aisle, her sisters and aunts all around, even a female officiant. And where do I fit in? Oh, that's right. I get to stand at the altar and watch like I'm some kind of prop in her big show. I'm trying to stay calm, but inside, I'm overwhelmed with frustration and confusion. A wedding is supposed to be about partnership, right? It's meant to symbolize our union, not just be Sally's moment to shine. The more she talks, the more it feels like I'm being erased from my own wedding. Finally, I can't take it anymore. I tell her as calmly as I can, "Sally, this isn't just your wedding. It's our wedding." I explain that I've always supported her relationships with the women in her life, but this is different. Our wedding should reflect both of us. Excluding all my friends and family feels like she's only thinking about herself. I can't agree to a wedding that makes me feel like a guest at my own event. Sally looks shocked. I don't think she expected me to push back. She starts trying to convince me again, talking about how meaningful it would be, how unique. But I won't budge. This is too important. I won't be sidelined or treated like I don't matter. As she keeps talking, I feel my irritation growing. She's so caught up in her vision that she can't see how unfair this is. Before I can stop myself, I blurt out, "Why don't you just have the wedding without me?" That would make it even more perfect, wouldn't it? I regret the words the moment they leave my mouth. Sally looks hurt, offended, but part of me is relieved I said it. Maybe now she'll understand how I feel. We sit in silence for a moment, and I realize just how far apart we are on this. It's not just about the wedding anymore. For the first time, I'm wondering if we truly see our future the same way. Does Sally always expect me to just go along with her ideas, even when they completely ignore my feelings? I take a deep breath. "Look, Sally," I say, "I love you, but this isn't going to work. Our wedding needs to be about us, not just you. I want my family there, my friends. I want to be an equal part of this, not just the guy waiting at the end of the aisle." Sally is still staring at me, like she can't believe what she's hearing. I can see her trying to come up with the right words to change my mind, but I've made my decision. This is a line I won't cross. I'm not backing down on this. We've never disagreed on something this big before, but I know I'm right. A marriage is about two people coming together, and that's how the wedding should be too. I just hope Sally can understand that before this turns into something we can't fix. I love her, but I won't be invisible at my own wedding. We're either in this together or... Well, I don't want to think about that right now, but I'm ready to stand firm if I have to. This isn't just about the wedding anymore. It's about respect, partnership, and how we see our future together. Right now, it feels like we're miles apart, and I'm not sure how we'll bridge this gap. But I know one thing for sure, I won't back down on this. Our wedding needs to represent both of us, or it's not happening at all. I'm ready for whatever comes next. If Sally can't understand my perspective, then maybe we have bigger issues to address. But I'm hoping she'll come around once she really thinks about what she's asking, because I can't imagine starting our marriage with an event that makes me feel like an afterthought. The thing is, I've always admired how close Sally is with her family and friends. It's one of the things that drew me to her. But this feels like she's taking it too far. A wedding is supposed to be about uniting two families, not excluding one entirely. I wonder if she's even considered how this would affect my family. My mum would be devastated if she couldn't be there, and my dad, he's been looking forward to giving a toast at my wedding for years. Not to mention my brothers and my best friends. How can Sally think it's okay to cut them all out? I need to make her understand that while I respect the relationships she has with the women in her life, our wedding can't be a celebration of just that. It needs to be about us, our love, our commitment to each other. And that includes all the people who've supported us, both men and women. I'm not going to let this go, even if it leads to a fight, even if it means we have to postpone the wedding. I'm standing firm because if we can't agree on something as fundamental as this, what does that say about our future together? I can't believe Josh's reaction. I thought he'd be open to my idea, maybe even flattered about being the only man there. Instead, he's completely rejecting it. It feels like he's not even trying to understand my perspective. I'm blindsided and honestly a little hurt. "Josh, come on," I say, trying to keep my voice calm. "This isn't just about us. It's about honoring all the women who've supported me throughout my life. Can't you see how special that would be?" But he's not changing his mind. He keeps insisting that a wedding should represent both of us, and how he wants his family and friends there too. I understand that, I do, but why can't he understand how important this is to me? Frustrated, I decide to talk to my mum and sisters. They'll understand, and they do right away. Mum says, "Honey, it's your special day. You should have the wedding of your dreams." My sisters chime in, saying Josh is being unreasonable and that he should support what I want. Their words boost my confidence. Maybe Josh is the one being selfish here. Doesn't he realize how much this means to me? With renewed determination, I go back to Josh. "Listen," I say firmly, "this wedding is about more than just us. It's about honoring the important women in my life. It could be such a unique and meaningful experience if you just open your mind to it." But Josh stands firm. He won't budge, and it's starting to make me furious. "You're being so old-fashioned about this," I snap. "Why can't you see beyond traditional wedding ideas? This could be something really, really special," Josh responds, saying he won't be pushed aside at his own wedding, but the more he resists, the more determined I become. "This is my vision, my dream. Why should I have to compromise on something so important to me?" I tell him, frustration overflowing. "You're acting like a dictator. This is supposed to be my day, and you're trying to control everything. Why can't you just support me on this?" I can see the anger in Josh's eyes, matching mine. We've never fought like this before, and a small part of me feels scared, but I push that feeling away. I'm right about this. I know I am. "Fine," I say, my voice cold. "If you can't see how important this is to me, maybe we need to rethink things. I'm not going to give up on my dream wedding just because you're too stubborn to consider it." As soon as I say it, I realize I've crossed a line, but I'm too angry to take the words back. Josh looks at me as if he doesn't even recognize me, and for a moment, I don't recognize myself either. But then I remember my mum's words, my sister's support. They're behind me on this. Why can't Josh be? "I'm not asking for the moon here," I say, trying to soften my tone a bit. "I'm asking for a wedding that celebrates the women who've shaped me into the person you fell in love with. Is that really so hard to understand?" Josh doesn't respond immediately, and I can see him struggling with his emotions. Good. Maybe he's finally starting to get it. "I love you," I say, "but I'm not backing down on this. It's too important to me. I need you to really think about it, okay? Try to see it from my perspective." As I walk away, leaving Josh to think things over, I feel a mix of emotions. Anger, yes, but also sadness and confusion. How did my beautiful idea turn into this ugly fight? But I'm not giving up. This is my dream, and I'm going to make it happen. Josh will come around. He has to. I can't imagine marrying him any other way. Now I've had enough. I've spent hours trying to explain to Sally why this women-only wedding idea is ridiculous, but she's not hearing a word. It's like talking to a brick wall. Every time I think I'm getting through to her, she responds with, "But it's my special day, and I want it to be unique," or "You're not being supportive." I'm done trying to be nice. It's time to make her see how absurd this is. We're in the middle of another tense conversation when I decide to drop my bombshell. Sally's going on about how meaningful her all-women ceremony would be, and I just can't take it anymore. I take a deep breath, look her straight in the eye, and say, "Okay, if you want our wedding to be unique, then let's have a men-only wedding. I'll invite all the men in my life, my dad, my brothers, my friends, and you'll be the only woman there. How does that sound?" The look on Sally's face is priceless. Her jaw drops, and for once, she's speechless. She stammers, "Are you joking?" But I keep my face dead serious. "No, I'm not joking," I say calmly. "If you can have a women-only wedding, then why shouldn't I be able to have the opposite? A ceremony focused on all the men who've been important to me, with you as the only woman there to witness it. Sounds fair, right?" Sally is still staring at me like I've grown a second head, so I press on. I start describing my hypothetical wedding in vivid detail, just like she did with hers. Picture this. My dad walks me down the aisle. My brothers are my groomsmen. No bridesmaids. My best friends handle all the speeches and toasts. The officiant will be my favorite uncle. I can see Sally's shock turning into anger, but I don't stop. And the reception? Oh, it'll be great. A big rowdy celebration full of football talk, whiskey, and all sorts of inside jokes you won't understand. We'll have a guys' night out theme, maybe even hire some dancers. That's completely ridiculous, Sally snaps, her face flushed with anger. A men-only wedding would be a joke. It would exclude me from everything. I lean back, crossing my arms. Exactly, I say, keeping my voice even. Now you know how I feel. It's not just your wedding, it's ours, and I'm not going to stand by and let you push me aside. Sally's fuming now, but I press on. I need to make my point clear. Your refusal to compromise on this women-only idea is selfish, Sally. I love you, but I won't be a guest at my own wedding, sidelined while you celebrate yourself. Marriage is about partnership, about both of us sharing the day equally. And if you can't see that, maybe we're not as compatible as we thought. I can see my words landing. Sally's anger mixes with confusion, maybe even fear. Good. She needs to understand how serious this is. I've tried to be understanding, I continue. I've always supported your close relationships with your family and friends, but this is going too far. A wedding is supposed to be about joining two families, not excluding one entirely. Have you even thought about how this would make my family feel? My mum will be heartbroken. My dad's been looking forward to giving a toast at my wedding for years, and my brothers and best friends. You're just going to cut them all out. Sally tries to interrupt, but I hold up my hand. I'm not finished. I respect your relationships with the women in your life. I really do. But our wedding can't be a celebration of just that. It needs to be about us, our love, our commitment to each other, and that includes all the people who've supported us along the way, both men and women. I take a deep breath, gathering myself for what I'm about to say next. So here's the deal, Sally. This is my ultimatum. Either we plan this wedding together, with equal say from both of us, or we call the whole thing off. I'm not going to back down or be steamrolled by your unrealistic, self-centered plan. The silence that follows is deafening. I can see the wheels turning in Sally's head as she processes what I've just said. For the first time since this whole mess began, I think she's realizing how serious I am. I love you, Sally, I say, softening my tone just a little. But love isn't enough if we can't respect each other's feelings and families. This wedding needs to represent both of us, or it's not happening at all. The ball's in your court now. I stand up, ready to walk away, and let her think about what I've said. But before I go, I turn back one last time. Just remember, Sally, marriage is about compromise and understanding. If we can't even agree on our wedding day, what does that say about our future together? With that, I leave the room, letting my words hang in the air. I've said my piece, and now it's up to Sally to decide what's more important, her fantasy wedding or our life together. He actually suggested a men-only wedding. Is he serious? And that ultimatum, it's left me shaken, though I'm trying not to let it show. I've never seen him so firm about anything before, and there's a real divide between us now, and that scares me. But I can't back down, not after how far I've come with my vision. I need to talk to my mum and sisters. They'll get it. They always do. Over the next few days, I pour my heart out to them and my closest friends. Their responses are exactly what I needed to hear. Mum is outraged on my behalf. He's just trying to scare you into doing things his way, she insists, her voice filled with certainty. Stand your ground, honey. It's your wedding. My sisters are equally supportive. Josh is totally overreacting, my older sister says. He's being controlling. Don't let him bully you into giving up your dream. My friends chime in as well. He wouldn't really call off the wedding over this, my best friend reassures me. He loves you too much to walk away. He's just throwing a tantrum. Their words are like a bomb to my frayed nerves. They're right, I think. Josh is bluffing. He has to be. There's no way he'd throw away our relationship over this. He loves me. He'll come around once he calms down. With each passing day, I feel more confident in my stance. I replay our arguments in my head, but this time I imagine myself standing firm, not giving an inch. In these daydreams, Josh always ends up realizing he's being unreasonable. He apologizes, and we move forward with my vision for the wedding. It's perfect. By the time I'm set to meet Josh again, I'm ready. I've rehearsed what I'm going to say, bolstered by the unwavering support of my family and friends. I walk into the coffee shop where we agreed to meet, my head held high. Josh is already there, sitting at a table in the corner. His face is unreadable. As I approach, I take a deep breath and sit across from him. I've thought about what you said, I begin, my voice steady, but I'm not budging on the women-only concept. It's important to me. Josh, you'll change your mind, I add, my tone almost dismissive. You're just upset right now. I expect him to argue, to get frustrated, but instead he looks at me with a calm, resolute expression that I've never seen before. My confidence falters for a moment. I'm not bluffing, Sally, he says, his voice quiet but firm. I'm not going to beg or plead. I'm serious. If you can't see such an important event in our life as something for both of us, then we shouldn't be getting married. The words hit me like a punch to the stomach. I open my mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. Before I can collect my thoughts, Josh stands up. It's over, he says simply, and then he walks away. I'm left sitting there, speechless. The world seems to spin around me. He really ended it. My mind races, trying to process what just happened. This can't be real. He can't have actually called off the wedding, called off our entire relationship. I had been so sure he was bluffing, so certain that love would win out in the end. But now I'm facing the reality that my stubbornness may have cost me everything. As the initial shock begins to wear off, regret starts creeping in. I replay our conversation in my head, but this time I hear it differently. I hear Josh's hurt, his frustration, and I hear myself dismissing his feelings, steamrolling over his concerns. Oh God, what have I done? I think back to all the conversations with my family and friends. They were so supportive, so encouraging, but now I wonder if they were wrong. If I was wrong, maybe Josh wasn't being controlling, maybe he was just asking to be an equal part of our day. The coffee shop bustles around me, but I barely notice. All I can think about is Josh walking away, the look in his eyes when he said it was over. He meant it. He really meant it. I feel sick to my stomach.